Hello, welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 using the hardest possible rule set, starting in 867 as a stewardship-focused landless adventurer. We're currently playing our second character because our initial character was so long-lived. We're currently the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Our character here is quite strong. He's a genius, 5-star stewardship. So that's all good. What isn't good is what happened at the end of the last episode, where we faced our first real adversity. We were attacked by the Scourge Conqueror here down in Al-Andalus, and he just beat the hell out of us, frankly. We didn't seem to have any real chance of beating him in a battle. Partly that was because I initially raised my troops too close to where he landed down here. I think even if I would have played it better, we would not have been able to defeat him in battle. He was just too powerful. Thankfully, he only ended up taking, I guess, 4 counties up here in Uppland in Sweden. So it wasn't the most devastating defeat in terms of territory, but it was quite devastating in terms of the gap between our armies and his. So this is a real concern. One of the biggest issues is normally there are a few different ways to pacify a Scourge Conqueror on your borders, one of which is to become their tributary. The problem is, to become someone's tributary, you need to be of the same rank or lower as them. Currently, we are the Holy Roman Empire, so we're an empire. He, on the other hand, is just a king at the moment, so we cannot become his tributary. Doesn't even offer that as an option. If he becomes an emperor of Hispania or somewhere else, we'll have the same rank. We become his tributary. We'll have to pay him some gold, but he will no longer be able to attack us. So we want to wait, and hopefully he will get an empire title some way. That's the easiest way to pacify him. Other ways to become his vassal, but of course you need to be of a lower rank to be his vassal. That's not possible. He's not going to become a hegemony, so we cannot become his vassal. Other option is to try to form an alliance with him. We looked at that last time, and because we're of different religions, that's not going to be possible. And so those are really the 3 ways to pacify a Scourge Conqueror, and none of them at the moment are available to us. We really have to hope he becomes a emperor in his own right, and then we can become his tributary. In the meantime, we can conduct our own wars. I think what I want to do in terms of using our kingdom level Holy War CB is to go after Poland. I believe that's the biggest chunk of land we can take. It has some okay development. None of the development in the world is that great, frankly. You see here we're up to 26, 16, 18. Flip back to raising this development. We could hold another county, another barony if we could find an appropriate one. Perhaps after conquering Poland here, we'll want to think about raising our crown authority. In terms of becoming more powerful, which is another way not to pacify a Scourge Conqueror but to beat them, we're already researching household soldiers, which is the best way to increase our military strength. But we have 11 years for that, and so it's not going to be ready by the next time he can attack us, which is in 5 years when our truce ends. The one good thing about Scourge Conquerors is they do obey the laws of war and diplomacy, and I don't think I've ever seen a Scourge Conqueror break a treaty. And so we can be reasonably confident that If we wait, and he's not going to attack us before that 5-year truce is up. Just looking here to see what else we could do. We'll check our tips. Always good to check the tips if there's anything that we can do here that's useful. I don't think we need this artifact anymore. It doesn't increase our health, unlike some others, so let's destroy it. Let's also hold a feast. We have the gold to do so. Hold in our capital. Like both prestige and opinion gain, so do both of those. In the meantime, we can go on with our war here. See, the opposing armies are up there. They're fighting a whole bunch of rebellions, including peasant rebellions. So we'll see if they come down to attack us. One thing we can do to improve our chances against the Scourge Conqueror is once we are done with our what we want from the stewardship tree, we can go down the martial tree. I was planning on going down learning first, but I think we may want to go straight from stewardship to martial. Had a stress break because a friend died. Let's make her shy. We have a number of daughters, but currently only one son. We'll want to switch over to our son here when he becomes 4. We can start instilling personality traits in him. Which just happened. All of our children should be a genius. We're a genius. Our wife is a genius. Who do we want to... I think we'll start another grand tour here shortly. I guess we'll try to give our daughters the best education we can before switching off one of them. It's going to cause us to incur some stress, but we should get rid of it all on the grand tour. I think that daughter should now be taught by our tutor. We will go to her so far our only son. University is 1500. I mean, we have the gold. He is our only son. I think let's do it. I thought about, he's pensive, right? Yes, so his options are learning and stewardship. I think let's still go with stewardship. Start making him diligent. Certainly aim to make him temperate at some point as well. It does, trigger would have normally triggered a mental break, that we just had one, so it won't trigger another one. Let's go on our grand tour. Be taxation tour. Talked before about always want more gold. Actually, we'll probably skip that patriarch. I think that is good. Would like more prestige, but don't need to increase the starting success. Do want some mountaineers because we're going over the Alps, and the Alps are very dangerous. We'll take a cultural ambassador as well. Justice is good. There we go. Go ahead and defeat these raiders. Take the safe route to avoid stress, and because the options of taking the dangerous route weren't that great. Just thinking, how much more do we want to stay on wealth focus now? We could get some of the, we could get these three, I'm thinking in particular. Maybe we do stay in for a little while longer. Again, I think once we're done, this is good. We get another stewardship perk. Sure, we'll be friends with that person. Once we get, the 2 more perks that really help us with our vassals, we'll switch over to a martial lifestyle. Increases taxes. I don't think we need to take his courtiers. I am confused as to what's even going on there. Don't really want to join someone else's war. Armies are starving, which isn't good, of course. We'll avoid stress, so not hunt these people. Okay, another Viking invasion. I don't think it's a big concern. Indeed, we've had something where these Viking invasions happen, and then the Vikings fight peace after a few years. So it's probably really not a big deal, but I want to finish our conquest of Poland here, unless we get over like -40 or worse than that. Viking invasion, I don't need to worry about it until our Polish war is done first. We are starting to lose out on quite a few stops here. So that's a bit concerning. I think we're only up to 3. We should still be okay, but avoid stress. Basically, on these tours, I want to get renown when it's offered, want gold, and then want to avoid stress. So that's really sort of the order of things. See, we still have a good monthly income, even with our armies raised, so that's certainly good. We'll avoid stress there, even though we're getting some vassal opinion penalties. Assume, yeah, he's not worth really releasing. So we get likable here. It's, you know, direct vassal opinion plus 10, very strong. I think we'll get positions of power. Then after that, switch to martial. That is unfortunate. Our wife is a genius, so she's a very strong character. May have to find another wife relatively soon, though. So, okay. Spy. All right. Well, that's really unfortunate. We skipped a whole bunch of stops. I think if we take his capital, that should be the end of this war. And we can go handle those Vikings. Get inspection here, primarily for the domain taxes. Grand tours are one of the best things you can do. You know, if you have the goal to do them, you know, recommend just doing them on cooldown. You know, really the upfront gold cost is the major issue. We will disembark near those Vikings, but not exactly on top of them. And then take care of them. A lot of these duchies are quite large. They have a whole bunch of counties within them, so we'll probably need to break them up. We want to give them primarily to members of our own dynasty who are not rulers. Are adults. And usually I like to give no more than what a person can hold. What they can hold is generally their number of stars of their education plus 1. So this guy, for example, we can give 4 holdings to. And then we will give the duchy and its remaining holdings to a different character. Seeing where the duchy county that, what the duchy building is for this one. It's over here, so we will give the duchy itself to the next person, specifically him. Generally try to give people counties within the same duchy. Probably gonna have to look at our court officials once we're done with this, since a lot of our court officials are our relatives, so we'll need to replace them since we're giving out good chunks of land to our relatives. I like giving out land to dynasty members because you can get various vassal opinion benefits from them, particularly from artifacts. You'll get artifacts that give you dynasty opinion but not general vassal opinion, and so often the opinion of dynasty members will be higher than those of your vassals in general. So this one has 5, so we can give it this guy with an education level of 4. He'll have a domain limit of 5, and so he can hold the entire duchy on his own. And there's this last one. Looks like there are 5 here. So again, if there's someone with a level 4 education, we can give them all of this. Is there someone with a level 4 education from our dynasty? I am not seeing it. Answer appears to be no. Check to see where the building that is has the duchy building is, so we give that to the person who we're giving the duchy to. There we go. Now handed out all this land. Poland is now dominated by our dynasty. We will replace our court positions here, and now we'll go take care of these Vikings. I think our vassals will handle those raiders, or maybe not. We will go to this tournament. Don't need mountaineers or really a cultural ambassador, but I do want experienced captains. I want to go to as many tournaments as possible. That's another way of improving our character, improving our ability to fight that Scourge Conqueror, is getting hostile looter experience, which gives a variety of bonuses largely to combat and war making abilities, but also in general. You can get extra monthly lifestyle experience, extra health boost, and so forth, all from improving your hostile looter experience. So you really want to do that if possible. And also you can get good artifacts, which also help. Don't think I need anyone's help beating these Vikings. Looks like we won, which is good. Get 55 gold, 150 prestige, all good stuff. Get a prize ring that isn't worth much, but I think we also get some decent wit experience in the hostile looter tree. Again, I'm being a little bit sloppy here with our forces. And generally, you don't want your army to be starving. But in this particular case, we'll be able to do it without really affecting, because we're not fighting someone who's close to us and overall strength. We'll be able to do it. And so the question here for marshals: what focus do we want? Will we be leading our own armies? It's possible. If we're going to lead our own armies, I'll go chivalry. If not, I'll go strategy. I think let's go chivalry. Now let's take a look at our books. Our journal, we'll always want this one for the plus 40 lifestyle experience. That's any lifestyle experience, so it's just extremely powerful. That's an artifact you can only get if you are a landless adventurer. And our character did create it when he was a landless adventurer. Now we want to see with our books if we can. We don't have any martial books, unfortunately. Alright, so if we do get some martial books, we will switch into those, but not an option at the moment. Take our poor starving armies and defeat these Vikings. Hopefully, even with the armies being starving, it won't be much of a challenge. One option that we could do is, get an ally here that can help us fight Al-Andalus. I don't know how long this guy's going to live, but might as well make that alliance. I don't think that this guy is going to get in too many wars. This guy being our new ally here, the Emperor of Britannia. So, we don't want to be in wars that he calls us into. We are on apocalyptic Scandinavian adventure invasions, so basically every 5 years we end up with some Scandinavian adventures, often in northwestern France. Get more gold here. Get rid of that. These artifacts, usually I destroy green artifacts. There is an argument for not destroying green weapons and armor, because you can give them to your people who become inspired to go on adventures, improve their prowess. To make them more effective at going on adventures, but just decided here just to destroy that one. Now, so the question here is, do we want any of these accolade attributes, or do we just want to wait? I think maybe I just want to wait. I'm not even really sure what I would like to have here. I mean, Lancer, Besieger would be good. Maybe even Contender. But for now, I think we'll just hold off. Host another hunt here. Could go after a fox. Could go after a bear. Let's go after a bear. Get a mountaineer just in case we want to slay the beast. We are going to use our bow to ambush him because we don't want to die facing a bear. And against a bear, it's a real concern. Bears can certainly kill you. Have our son learn a language. See about this daughter here. Have her learn a language as well. I pen my children up here so I can remember to educate them, which in particular means to influence their personality, give them personality traits that are useful, like diligent, temperate, other virtues. For that last decision, I didn't want to take that 1% risk of dying. I also didn't want to become ill, so I decided to just go with the bottom one. Risk, someone else in my entourage getting wounded. You are free to expose I'm a witch. I'll take that hit. Maybe after this hunt, I will go on a pilgrimage to get my devotion back up. What we could do is take a really long pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Usually for vassalizing people, I don't want to vassalize people unless they at least give me normal feudal obligations. Don't like doing low because if you take with someone on low, it doesn't really add much to you. Your gold or levies, if you in general and in particular, you have to pay additional court amenities for expanding the size of your realm. So it can often be a wash. So I would at least want them to be normal where they're contributing a little bit more. So here, I don't want to do the first one because I'm more likely to die by the bear. I don't want to corner the bear, so we'll just ambush it. Ambushing should be safe. I don't think I will die. This, I don't think it matters too much. We'll try to find the person, we do not. So here we will take this top option, the best option of killing him here, which we did do. Hopefully we get a good artifact. It's okay. We'll mount the head. Not sure that it is better than the artifacts we maybe it is. Let's see, Wolf Skull has 7 knight effectiveness. That's pretty good, actually. I think I'd rather have that. Well, guess we'll take the bear skull for the renown. See, I still have not filled out 2 pedestal items or my throne, so I'd like to have more artifacts, certainly. For that one, I don't think it matters too much what I choose. I might as well increase my courtier's diplomacy. Take stalwart leader to begin, then mostly we want to go down the strategist tree next. I would like to establish a holy order in Cleves, but Cleves is Franconian and they don't have the city planning innovations, so we can't build additional baronies there yet. See if I want to start another war before I head out. I think I do. Just use a Duchy war here against Schleswig. Hopefully it'll be a nice quick war. I don't need to lead the armies, even though I am a quite good commander. Instead, I will do this pilgrimage. Maybe let's go to Canterbury. I'm going to spend a whole lot of gold on it. We'll go with zealotry. We'll also see if we can hit a whole bunch of points of interest up here. All this Hadrian's Wall. Get some more martial experience. Before actually going to Canterbury. I think that looks good. Don't need a mountaineer, but we do want experienced captains since we're going into the ocean or the water. Yep, that all looks good. Then we'll pay attention to our war here. You can't start a war while you're on an activity, so you want to start the war beforehand and go on the activity and then fight the war while you're on the activity, assuming you don't feel the need to lead the troops yourself, which I do not here. I think we'll become more pious. 3 months. What does accepting do? Alright, I guess we'll do that. Not in a huge rush here. And want our pilgrimage to be as pious as possible. See the Danish armies here. Like hard work for the extra monthly income. Jump by over 10 a month, which is quite useful. We'll go with divine protection here. Take another delay. Man, that is brutal. We'll certainly avoid that massive amount of stress there. We'll lose a little bit of gold for piety. Not sure where those Danish armies are going. Artifacts give more piety. Increase our siege weapon effectiveness and also get living off the land, which greatly increases our supply. This guy, he's pretty good. No, I guess we'll see if we can take him. go up here and attack this army, I think. They'll let me attack them. They have a quite large advantage, but we will still beat them, I believe. Check on our son here, who will influence him to be temperate. Let's check on our daughter as well. We will influence her to be diligent. See if we can give her defender. Sell trivial titles because we always want more gold. Lose some stress here. Get that little bit of a health boost. I think we will host a grand tournament next. So where we are in hostile looter experience. We could need foot and bow, really. We'll do with a duel and then do archery. We will max out. We're going to triumph. Yep. So we're going to max out, accommodations, so we don't have something negative happen where we die in one of the events, and then prizes, because we do want the best prizes we can get. We will increase our score there, and then we will check on army. Got some raiders up there that don't really need to worry about. I like going to the tourney grounds to increase my score. I often go to the temple as well. The temple can give events for renown, and also to get a trait called astronomer, which gives you more lifestyle learning experience, so both very powerful. Army is starving again, which is unfortunate, but once they complete that siege, that should be the end of the war. So our eldest daughter is grown up. Let's see if we want an alliance. Don't think we could get an external one or one, different alliance that we already have. So let's use her to marry someone who is either beautiful or Herculean. Looking for beautiful or Herculean. There's beautiful. So go marry that peasant. Generally don't try to sabotage people. There's no point in getting caught. Take the increase in score, looking for the maximum increase in score there. Had a friend die. Take this high score increase. Again, highest looks like this 82%, but we still lost. Hopefully we didn't die or have something else really bad happen. I usually don't, cheat to disqualify people. Just deal with my losses. move on to the next event. Don't want to wed my daughter to some random person. Hand this out to someone from our dynasty. You look good. Would be happy to get another holding somewhere. Here's the event to get renown. We succeeded. That's good. Your renown is very powerful. Always happy to have more of it. Sure, another internal alliance. Okay, increase our score there. Also lose some stress. Just let the person get on with it. Just or cynical? I think let's make her just. Check on my only son here. Probably learn a lot of languages, so we'll have him learn one. I mean, if you only have one son, it's obviously very risky, but does make the succession simpler. Could think about creating some kingdom level titles and giving them to him. Let me rephrase, not giving them to him, but creating some kingdom level titles and just holding them. And then they will pass to him when we die. Okay, that's quite a good ring. Particularly for the extra knights. Let's equip it instead of something here. I think we'll decline instead. Try to wed her to someone who has a good intelligence trait. Anyone who is an adult with a good intelligence trait? I guess not. So maybe this, I think there was a 14-year-old with a good intelligence trait. 11. Yeah, so I think we'll do that. It was a member of our house, so it doesn't need to be matrilineal. She'll be 24, that's fine. Check to see how much longer we have on our truce. I'm guessing it's not long. Looks like the truce is up, in fact, so he could attack us at any time. See, he's only gotten more powerful. I assume he does not have a kingdom title yet. Or, sorry, an empire title. Nope. I don't think... Yeah, conquerors won't exchange hostages. You can see they have a negative 1,000 penalty there, so we can't use that as an attempt to avoid war with him. I think we'll just have to Try to defend ourselves when he attacks us. There's not much else to be done. We'll see about modifying some contracts here. Unsurprisingly, I am modifying them to get more gold. We have a pretty healthy monthly income for being in 980. How close are we to getting household soldiers? Still 5 more years. So probably just going to have to suffer through whatever the Al-Andalus Scourge Conqueror has in mind for us at this point. Then maybe the next war we fight against him in 6 or 7 years, we'll have a stronger army. Will it make a difference? I don't know. We will have to see. What do I want to do? Just going to hold an inspection in one of our holdings here. Maybe get to some more gold. I don't want to go to war or do anything else while we don't have a truce with that Scourge Conqueror. We'll just be ready to try to fight him as best as we can when he attacks us. So I'm not going to be engaging in any wars. I'll just be doing events until we see what happens here. Guess we'll try to increase the development. If possible. Okay, so we get some more taxes, get development, increased development growth, all good stuff. Probably worth doing. See, our wife is still in chivalry. Move her back to assist ruler, but we want to put her back on chivalry once this Scourge Conqueror attacks us, assuming he does, which I certainly assume he will. Might as well sway this guy. See if there's anywhere else we wanted to convert religion. I'll wait until Cleves is done. Interesting that he declared a whole bunch of wars, thankfully not against me. We'll continue to just wait on whatever he is. Continue not to fight any wars because we want to wait on him in case he attacks us to be as ready as possible. Definitely want to get special tutelage for my son, get him another point of stewardship. Guess we can display these ribs, saints relics. Obviously they're not very good. Let's see if we can get a better relic through a hunt. More bear sightings. So we'll go down there and see if we can handle it. Slay beast. That looks fine. Sure. We're not going on a falconry trip, but we'll do that anyway. I think we'll take the gold there. We could think about becoming administrative, centralized bureaucracy. I don't know. The problem with centralized bureaucracy is the new budget category you get tends to be sort of unstable, particularly if you're don't have a really high income, so maybe it's best just not to do it for now. And because the budget's unstable, if you have to cut the budget that goes to your vassals, they become very agitated and get up to -50 vassal opinion and be more likely to rebel against you. So I'd like to have higher income and development before I make that change. It's a bit unfortunate to make him cynical. The obvious problem is zealots won't like him as much, but I think that was the best option there. We'll try to make him either gregarious or patient as a 4th personality trait. Think about exactly which one we want to give him. And gregarious has a lot of benefits. Patient because we're have whatever it is, the agricultural, have the agrarian tradition. We get more benefits from patient, particularly that holding tax bonus, the farmlands and floodplains. Don't think we have any floodplains, but we do have farmlands, so I have to think about exactly what we want to give him when we get the opportunity. Let's hunt the heart. Again, we're not going to risk dying. We're going to use our bow to shoot the heart from afar. Yep, ambush him. Do the donation. Fortunately, we missed. But we still get his hide for some reason. We will keep it. We failed our intent, but somehow got a hide artifact, so okay. Assume that's a bug. That we should not, in fact, get anything, but whatever. Just looking to see if there's anything to do with this guy yet. In terms of getting a good accolade attribute, doesn't look like it. Get this girl married to someone with a good intelligence trait. Not our son, though. Maybe him. Again, I'm loath to declare any wars while we don't have a treaty with Al-Andalus. He hasn't attacked us, even though he could. We're kind of just waiting on him. Maybe we can do a grand right here. Get a perk of some sort. Lifestyle perk. Don't care about ransoming my vassal. Don't care about most of those other options there. What to marry our daughter to someone who is beautiful or Herculean. See if we can find someone who's an adult who's beautiful or Herculean. Someone who's robust. Okay. Now it's not terribly age appropriate, but maybe they'll have some children. And so we are sort of in a holding pattern here as we just await an attack from Al-Andalus. Again, that's really sort of how it goes in these games. You're often at the mercy of neighboring scourge conquerors. You really have to fit what you want to do into what they are doing, so you're not just free to do whatever you want, but instead you really have to shape your strategy and gameplay around the scourge conquerors. That's something I find enjoyable and interesting about this rule set. If it's just a different way of playing than a normal game where you can, from the beginning of the game, pick some objective you can do, and you can just, usually fight your way through to that. Here we simply cannot beat this guy, especially if our armies are, attacking Russia or somewhere when he attacks us. So we need to sort of, chill out and just wait to see if he attacks us first, and do our best to fight that off. But I don't want to have our armies engaged somewhere else when he attacks us. So we'll just keep holding activities while we wait for him to attack us, basically. I mean, if we were to get household soldiers, I think that would be a significant benefit. In terms of that, maybe something that would put us on even a more equal footing with him and give us a better chance of defending ourselves. Now, the benefit of getting household soldiers allows us to increase the size of our military quite significantly. For that one, there's no rush to increase our opinion with this guy, so I'll just take the prestige instead. Okay, our sun here is now 10, which means we can do martial drill for him, get military engineer, because that is very helpful. Have him learn another language. We're not going to imprison our wife. I think we'll just take benevolent ruler. We can repair that artifact when the time comes. Lively feast is nice. Maybe not as nice as some other modifiers, but it does decrease our stress. That's good. We'll pick organized march, get some heavy infantry screen, but more importantly, opens up hit and run, which gives us quite a couple of powerful heavy infantry bonuses. Our army is basically all heavy infantry, so we want to improve heavy infantry as much as we can. It would be nice to get that perk before we get attacked by Al-Andalus again. That last decision, you know, it's a coin flip, really doesn't even matter. Thought I would have gotten Eager Reveler by now. I think that was like at least our third feast, but hasn't happened. Okay, he's not at war with anyone, so he could be coming after us next. Let's just let the game run for a little bit here. Guess we can hold another inspection in one of our other counties here. See if we can improve the development, tax gains, improve the bureaucracy. Okay, I think we probably can hold a grand wedding. Want to increase development, that sounds good. Yep, our poor wife died of cancer. Guess we'll forge a crown, even though we don't really need one. I think we'll try to improve development. Want development in Dutch lands to be as high as possible so that we research innovations faster. We want to try to get as many of these innovations in the early Middle Ages completed as we can, as quickly as we can. That'll help us deal with scourge conquerors and rebellious vassals and anything else. All right, so see about getting a good spouse here. Doesn't need to be an adult. Do want it to be someone who is not a lowborn, because I don't want the legitimacy hit. It's going to be a while, but that girl looks quite good. I think we will do a grand wedding. It's going to be a while before I marry her, but whatever. You can see here we'd be very likely to have our children be genius, and then also a chance of them being beautiful. Yep, so eventually we'll be married. I'll be 57. You know, our father lived to be 110. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. You know, this character, that is, but, or me individually, I'm surely not living to 110. But if we live, you know, to be 57, you know, maybe we could live to be up in our 70s. It would help if we would be able to switch to learning. Sure, let's take these gifts. Let's go on a hunt, and then we will call the episode. Let's check on our hunter experience here. So we still can get more in Venator. I think we'll host another hunt. Boar, sure, sounds good. Let's make sure our Master of the Hunt is tracking legendary game. Take the maximum out of stress loss. Something we could do is increase our crown authority. I mean, our vassals are relatively docile at the moment. We do it and see what happens. moment, we're not seeing a whole bunch of factions pop up. So for that last decision, it seems like whenever I try to have someone improve the artifact, regardless of the chances it states, they often end up damaging the quality of the artifact. And so that particular decision, I usually just don't have them do anything. So, there's a faction popping up, but it seems pretty weak at the moment. One reason I'm really paying attention to this is, as we talked about before, our vassals are much more rebellious, much more likely to join factions because we're playing on very hard and we have lesser realm stability. So two rule differences that cause more factions and more rebellions. In particular, it seems like your vassals really like to join factions and rebel when you increase your crown authority. So I was expecting perhaps more factions and rebellion over increasing our crown authority than we got there, but didn't, so that's good. I'm mildly curious, could we do something like revoke the title of probably not be able to revoke people's titles. I'm playing on very hard. It means that they're far less willing to give up their titles to a revocation demand. Right, so we have filled out that claim knight. Let's check again on this one to see if there's anything else anything new we can give him. There is not. Fanatic would be interesting if it gave you some bonus when you're fighting people of a different faith, similar to Faithful Blade, but it doesn't. All right, I think we're going to call it for this episode. We did take over Poland, took over a bit of Denmark here, and then a lot of it, we're just waiting on this guy from Al-Andalus. If we get household soldiers before he attacks us, we do only have 3 years left, that would be a significant benefit against him. May turn the tides of the war. I also want to get more hostile looter experience, particularly in foot. If you get to the maximum size, maximum experience in foot, then you increase the size of all your men-at-arms regiments by +2. Also get 2 knights, so that's very powerful. We really want our military to be as powerful as possible to fight Al-Andalus. And with that, thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you join us for the next episode. We'll likely continue on in this vein. Hopefully we'll get household soldiers then, and if we have to defend ourselves against Al-Andalus, hopefully we'll do a better job than we did the first time. Just taking a look around the map here, you can see China's quite powerful. There's this massive empire across India and beyond, led by Scourge Conqueror, unsurprisingly. Okay, but again, thanks very much for watching. I hope you join us for the next episode. Goodbye.